Hi there, everyone. I'm Sophie from Memorable Stories, the channel where we dive deep into the complex world of marital relationships and conflicts. Today, we're exploring a story from the subreddit r/AITA, titled AITA for Leaving a Dinner Party After a Girl Sat on My Husband's Lap, shared by author Thrower. Before we get into the story, here's a brief summary. The author, troubled by her husband's close relationship with a younger woman named Cindy, describes an incident where Cindy's behavior crossed boundaries, including sitting on the author's husband's lap during a dinner party. This led to the author leaving the event in distress, followed by a confrontation and a subsequent fallout with her husband and Cindy's family. Now, let's dive into the story, as narrated by the author. I am still so shook with everything, so sorry for my rambling. My husband, Jake, and I have been married for 3 years, and from the beginning he was very close with his best friend's sister, Cindy, 18F. Well, my husband would often talk about her and tell how he had seen her grow up throughout the years. Cindy is always very bubbly and seems very fond of Jake as well. I remember when we were dating she would ask to come along on our dates a lot. I never really said anything as I liked spending time with her as well. She was like a little sister to me. When we announced our engagement, she asked my husband to better not forget her, after being a married man, and to still hang out with her. Well, we got married and I even made her my bridesmaid. Soon we moved to a different state and kind of lost contact. Now Jake's best friend came to stay with us for some time and Cindy came along as well. Now the moment she saw us, the first thing she said was how hot my husband has gotten, and she was glad he didn't look like those boring married men. Then throughout their stay Cindy would just ignore my presence and will be way too close with Jake. I told Jake that it was looking a bit inappropriate and to ask Cindy to tone it down, but he said that Cindy is just a bit childish and is that way with everybody. Well, at their last day we decided to host a dinner party for everybody. During the party I was with Jake when Cindy came and told me, "Oh, I need to steal you our husband for a while," and before I could say something she grabbed Jake's hand and took him for playing games. I ignored it since it was their last day, but then throughout the dinner she was getting way too close with Jake and would just drag him away whenever I would be around while giggling at me. When everybody sat for dinner I sat beside Jake and Cindy came last. She then said, "Oh, there is no seat," and then just went and sat on my husband's lap. Everybody was surprised and Jake said laughing, "Cindy, stop acting like a kid, you're not a kid anymore." Cindy started laughing saying it was a joke and got up and sat on other seat while giggling at me. Yeah, I was so angry with the disrespect, and with the fact that Jake was so cool with it, but I didn't want to say anything bad, so I excused myself, took my car and went out. About 1 hour later Jake called me asking where I was. I told him I am going to my friend's house and I will come after Cindy has left. I know what I did was terrible, but I was so angry at that time that if I had stayed there any longer I would have probably started fighting or crying. I came the next day and Cindy and her family had left. Jake was very pissed and said I took things too far. I started crying and told him how everything made me feel. He said I was horrible to think such things about Cindy and that she was like his sitter. I told him that I was not doubting his intentions, but I was hurt by how disrespectful Cindy's behavior was and he was enabling her by not saying anything. He started saying that I sound ridiculous and couldn't even take a joke, referring to the sitting on lap incident. I said regardless I don't want her in my house again. To top it off, Cindy sent a message saying that she was sorry about making me so insecure in myself, and that she would make sure to make me feel better, but I should not have left as it was pretty childish and kind of spoilt the mood. It felt so backhanded. I didn't reply anything to her. I just told my husband he needs to maintain a distance with Cindy. He asked if I was giving him an ultimatum. I said if he will go as far as disregard and disrespect my feelings for Cindy. This really rubbed my husband the wrong way, and he said since I have such disgusting thoughts in my mind, and is giving him an ultimatum anyways, then he might as well leave because he cannot leave with such an insecure person who has such disgusting thoughts about him. He packed a bag and left to his mother's place. I have tried apologizing numerous times, telling how sorry I am for everything, but he is ignoring my texts and calls. Later, Cindy's brother texted me and called me a bunch of names to think like that about his sister, saying Jake should just leave me and a disgusting person like me deserves to be alone. I could not stop crying after that. How to fix this? Is there a way to even come back? Was I so wrong to deserve this? Anymore. Edit. People who are asking our ages, we are 25 years old, just months apart. Update. Thank you all for responding and people who gave me good advices in personal messages. I couldn't read all the comments, but now I know my feelings are valid and boundaries were crossed by Cindy. Now during the dinner there was Cindy, her brother Sean and his GF, and their cousin Derek, also a good friend of my husband, with his BF. So I called Derek and asked about the situation and what happened after I left. He was sympathetic and said that after I left at first they thought I would come back after some time, however things were really awkward, but when I didn't come, Sean's GF told Cindy that she was so disrespectful for doing that. Derek and his BF also said the same thing. To this Cindy started crying, saying they didn't have to corner her and attack her over a silly joke, that she didn't know it would get so out of hand. She then left the room while crying. Jake didn't know what to say and everybody left early the next day. Derek also told that Cindy has always had issues with boundaries, and when he introduced his BF to everybody, Cindy would get too close and would joke that she was just checking if he was really gay. They were really uncomfortable with it as well, so Derek confronted her, to which Cindy rolled her eyes and said they can't take a joke and eventually stopped. This all sounds so bizarre. What's going on with Cindy? Sean's GF also texted me saying she was sorry for what happened. I told him how Sean's message was inappropriate, but she had no idea about the text, so I sent her a screenshot and asked her to tell Sean to not harass me again. She was very apologetic and said she would talk to him. Now my mill called and asked what was going on, as Jake didn't tell her and only said we had an argument. I was a bit hesitant to tell but eventually told everything. She was furious at my husband. She said they will be coming to have a talk. So yeah, I am just waiting for them to arrive and really nervous. If what I did was right or wrong, but we will see. As for people saying my husband is some pedo or they are having an affair, I know this is furthest from the truth. I never questioned his intentions, but what hurt me was the lack of respect from Cindy towards me. Let's check out some feedback from the Reddit community. Comment by user 1_m_mam, agreed. This just screams immature teenage girl. Any mature man/BF/husband would have recoiled at that statement. When he reacts the way he does, and the situation as a whole makes me think he's not any more mature than this little girl, even at 25-inch. Comment by user BunBunBunny1925, that message makes my skin crawl. You could maybe pass all of this off as her being stupid and 18. Maybe she is just wrapped up in her own world, she does not see the impact she is having. I doubt it, but some people are really just that self-involved. However, once she sent that message, it just sealed the deal. She knows what she is doing. Don't forget the part about her making her feel better about herself next time. It's just so belittling and manipulative. Comment by user Massive Wishbone 6161, that's not an apology. My passive-aggressive response would be, I am sorry you are projecting your insecurity, just because I am not putting up with your desperate attempt, rubbing yourself all over my husband like a horny teenager. To summarize, this story highlights the importance of boundaries in any relationship and how lack of respect for these boundaries can lead to significant conflicts. It's essential in any marriage to communicate openly and address discomforts or issues as they arise. My advice? Always trust your instincts in a relationship and have a clear conversation about boundaries and mutual respect. What are your thoughts on this situation? How would you have responded? Please share your opinions in the comments below. If you found this story and discussion insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Memorable Stories for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.